Christina is very religious, believes that she's a saint. She dresses very conservatively. She spends the majority of time reading the Bible. One time, Christina kidnapped my cousin, drove around prophesizing to him, and wouldn't let him get out until he heard all of the Bible verses she needed to tell him. My cousin stopped talking to me for about a year after that.
Jerica says 7 years ago, she began experiencing blackouts and memory loss. Now, it wasn't until she was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder that she discovered she has over 10 programs, as she likes to call them, that help her function. She says one of those programs is named Jayne, who the administrator says likes to drink and dance on tables. Take a look.
Jayne's the most popular program. Jayne is boy crazy. If we're going on a date, the system will send Jayne. One time, Jayne went out to dinner with her family members and convinced them to go to a club afterwards. Jayne started dancing on tables and got kicked out. One time, Jayne tried to take her coworkers to a sex toy shop. They didn't go. She thinks she's a model and posts pictures in lingerie. Jayne, she'll post pictures that are not appropriate on my Facebook. She likes spending money. She went to Victoria's Secret and opened up a credit card and spent a lot of money. She likes French champagne, gummy bears, and Red Bull. There's been a couple times she's booked hotels and she throws parties that she can't afford. There's some that are more conservative, while Jayne is more provocative.
Mm-hmm. How do you get along with Jayne?
Pretty well. She's not one of the programs we worry about. Most people meet Jayne first. Mm-hmm. She's the most social out of the group, mm-hmm. And she's fun to be around. So we don't mind her. We just don't like it when she takes things too far, or if she's the only program running, or the administrator's not there.
Right. When you feel this change coming on, what do you experience? What happens to you physically?
People say that my face and body gesture, everything, my voice changes, and mm-hmm. it's the administrator goes back and is not in control when that happens. It's that program basically on defense mode. So most of the time we black out during those times.
Mm-hmm. And when you black out, how long have you blacked out for?
The longest time has been, a year. Before we knew we had a complete blackout for an entire year that we had to put together, but since then about 2 weeks was another blackout period where we ended up in another state.
What does your mother think about this, for example? How does she feel about this?
I don't think she quite understands. Her family's very religious. I think that they kind of think that I'm demonically possessed.
And you said they did exorcisms on you a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Tell me what that consisted of. What did they do?
Basically courting me and telling me Bible verses and that the spirit inside me is not from God, and very forcefully restraining me.
Did that scare you?
Well, we have a program that we call Vampire Program that became active during that process, and it started basically screaming like the movie The Exorcist. The girl, it has an unnatural voice.
Is someone else talking to you right now?
No, right now they're not. If there's too many programs running at once, then I'll start to stutter and shut down.
Do you consider these programs friends?
To me, they are. They're all very complex and have their own interests and likes, and they kind of keep me company. I can't really relate to most people.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.